talk about emotional stability. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I think that we all want to have a pleasant life. And I believe that a pleasant life is due to the fact that we have pleasant emotions and pleasant thoughts within ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we are experiencing life from an individual perspective, like a unit. So if that unit is clean and stable, then we can see things for what they are, we can operate better, and ultimately we can even explore and manifest. I don't like this word manifest, many people in the spirituality use it, but in the sense that we are able to express our full potential out there. So when we talk about emotional stability, I would say that it is a consequence of a certain structure that I would like to touch for a second. These are things that we can verify for ourselves. And that's the important thing. It's not what I'm saying. If you can follow, you can see how the process goes, that's very important. First, we have thoughts of some kind appearing in our space, let's call it like this. And then when we follow along with these thoughts, we identify with them and we create some involvement with them, certain emotions will arise as a consequence. We have to see emotions, I think, like the fuel that we put in our car. It's the driving energy. You know, I think about something, then I develop a certain involvement, certain emotions, and I go for it. And then I manifest it, I take actions. So the process goes from thoughts, emotions, actions. Certain thoughts will give rise to certain emotions. Those emotions will fuel our action into the practical world. And there is a big issue here, that usually as human beings we are quite disconnected, in the sense that we think something, we feel something else, and we do the opposite. Sometimes to compromise for life, or because we want to gain and we don't want to lose, so we don't act as a unity. The main problem here, when you ask me the question about emotional stability, is the fact that we are not integrated as human beings. We are fragmented. These components, thinking, feeling and acting, are divided. And there is even a little time difference between them. We think something, then certain emotions arises, and then there is a time for action. But in the so-called state of flow, all those things will happen at once, which means that there is no interference between all these aspects. There is just life taking places. So, going back to the question about how maybe we can achieve or reestablish emotional balance. Because I said at the beginning that, in my opinion, everything begins with thoughts and the way we perceive reality and our interpretation which gives rise to emotions. For me it's important that we take that thing into consideration, at least we recognize it. That could be the process in which things are happening. Working with a practice such as qigong helps us at the beginning to become aware of the body. And this is what I really liked about the system, because it's very practical. It's not based in some kind of theory, it's not based on some kind of beliefs. I start working with my body. The first level is the most physical practice that we have in the system. I start to become aware of my limits, of my tension in the body. Little by little I'm able to expand my awareness and being able to watch how the whole thing is operating, which give me space also to see how my mind is moving and what kind of emotions are appearing from a more neutral place. The fact of doing this kind of process of, let me use this bad expression, of extending our ability of being aware to various levels, it also means that the water gets still, in the sense that because we're not following the constant flow of the mind, producing certain emotions and certain action and so on, as I explained at the beginning, little by little we start to be able to just be here and still those movements just by simply paying attention to this. And if we want to grow spiritually, in my opinion, and I have tried, I'm young, but I've tried some stuff in my life and certain experiences, I feel it very practical to begin from this and to move upwards, rather than going into some kind of extreme form of ayahuasca or healing methods that they might look like the quick fix, but you really are skyrocketed into space and then you come back again. So I know that many people who look for healing or they want to heal emotionally or they want to find an answer, they try to go for these quick and extreme ways that I've tried myself in the past. But I have realized in my experience, this is just my experience, everybody can have their own view about this, that working by sharpening my knife, so the ability of being focused and being aware, just with this, which can already keep us occupied quite a lot because there are many things happening here, it can really create a base, a foundation that will solve the problem by itself. And what I mean by this is that the more we are able to detach ourselves from the mind movement and use the body as a vehicle, as an anchor to be here, and we start to dive into more subtle manifestations. That could be the sensation of the energy, which grows more and more. It changes because through the qigong path there is truly an alchemical transformation, Taoist transformation of these kind of flows in the body. We dive into subtleties, which means also we see more about ourselves in our totality without discarding the fact that we have a body, emotions, and mind, and then trying to push these things beyond our usually way of working on a daily life.